No doubt some of the astute ones amongst you will detect that I am struggling to contain my excitement when bringing you the news that the Premier League has agreed a collaboration with the show of Formula One for the 2024 season. Many of us will remember the greatest ever Premier League season, that being the 2012 Championship. Some of the strap-on fans were still in nappies, and some of them were still only a twinkle in their daddy's eye. But for those of us who remember, the 2012 season went down to not only the last day of the season, it went down to almost the last kick of the season. With the full-time whistle having gone in the Manchester United game, Manchester United had secured the 3 points that they felt they needed to win the title, as at that point in time Manchester City could only be drawing. But in the 3rd minute of stoppage time in their game against QPR, Manchester City did the impossible with that Aguero moment, winning that game and taking that title to the blue half of Manchester. And the rest is history. A moment that will live long in the memory of all who witnessed it. The greatest ever Premier League season. That moment was only eclipsed in 2021 when the sport of Formula One manufactured the same thing in its sport. Going into that final Grand Prix of the season, the two title contenders were level on points, but one of those competitors was running away with that race and irrefutably on course to win it had the rules of the sport been followed. But instead of following the rules of the sport, which would see Sir Lewis Hamilton become a record-breaking 8-time world champion, the entire sport agreed and was complicit with the rules of the sport being broken to manufacture a one-lap shootout between just two of the competitors when they were firmly in the knowledge that one of those competitors was at that stage significantly advantaged, setting it up for Max Verstappen to win, be crowned the 2021 world champion, and then subsequently boost him and present him as being this greatest thing that we've ever seen, despite the fact that those people that are true fans of the sport know otherwise. The Premier League looked at the model of Formula One to see if it could utilise it in boosting its global profile and making itself more money in the same way that the show of Formula One has, because the game of football is not exciting enough already. So what they did, they consulted Martin Brundle from Sky Sports, because Sky Sports are also the broadcaster for not only football, also Formula One. And Martin Brundle told the Premier League that it is a highly complex technical situation and the rules are like this thick. So don't you worry your little heads about it. It's fine. Move on. So they've sought the assurances of Martin, and Martin has assured them that it's fine. We can easily utilise the media to convince the silly people that it's all okay. And the Premier League has also consulted the governing body of the Formula One show, which is the FIA, and the FIA have confirmed to the Premier League that actually manipulating outcomes in sporting events is actually quite easy. You're your own god, you set your own rules, nobody can hold you to account. You are not bound by the rules, the laws of any country, and you can do what you want. And as long as your commercial rights holder has enough money, you can afford to pay off the UK Serious Fraud Office, the FBI and Interpol to make sure that nobody holds you to account for the crime of fraud and sport fixing. So it's not a problem. You'll easily get away with manufacturing the result of a sport. So just crack on. It will be great. Everybody will be excited, and it's only live once, and people may argue a little bit, but that will get you some more clicks in social media, which will get you some more advertising revenue, which is great for everybody, isn't it? Wow. And then everybody will just move on. It's not a problem. And the victims, well, no, we're all millionaires, we're all billionaires. It's not a problem. We all make money, move on. So the Premier League has followed Formula One's lead, and what it's done, it's consulted all 20 teams in the Premier League, and it's got them to agree that the Premier League should end as a racing finish, because nobody wants to see a dull ending to the Premier League. Nobody wants to see the league title settled with 3 games of the season to go, or with 2 games of the season to go, or with one team being 4-0 up at half time in those last games of the season. No, that would be boring. Nobody wants to see that. We need to see a racing finish. We need to see the title decided in stoppage time of those last games of the season. So to do so, we must ignore the rules of football, pretend that the referee has overriding authority over the rules of the sport, allowing him to break the rules of the sport and make his own rules up, just to ensure that he can manufacture the results that the governing body, the Premier League, want to manufacture. And all 20 teams have agreed to that, so it's all okay. None of them will identify it, none of them will protest, none of them will say anything about it. The BBC's new chief of football, Andrew Benson, he has promised that he won't say anything or reveal that this conduct constitutes match fixing, sport fixing, betting fixing, fraud. But no, indeed, Andrew will not reveal that. Indeed, he will just pick out a conflict of interest for the team of, who shall it be, Andrew? Shall we say it's, I know, it can be Manchester United have a conflict of interest because their new part owner is linked with the Mercedes Formula One team. So let's highlight the conflict of interest there, Andrew, because it involves the Mercedes Formula One team. So that's not a problem. The BBC will not reveal the corruption. You can get away with it. The authorities tasked with bringing to justice the perpetrators of global fraud will not do that. Those people that lose their bets because you've broken the rules to manufacture the outcome that you desire, they will not be impacted at all. They will be convinced to move on, and it's fine. Everybody will be happy, and we'll manufacture whoever we want to be the new champion of the Premier League. It's only live once. Enjoy the ride. It's called a motor race. No, sorry, I got that one wrong. This is football talk. It's called a game of football, Toto. We went footballing. Everybody wants to see a footballing finish. Can't wait.